BREN Esports member just turns to him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Again, as nice as the kit is, again, you see the intent, but where's the execution? And right now, it's not on the side of RRQ HOSHI. BREN Esports is ahead by about 9,000 gold here.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the charts. I'm definitely thinking that BREN Esports now overpowering in terms of damage. There's no way that, call in all the defense all you want. It's just that there's just a no-go zone for Sin, and you don't even want to invest risking all the way up into the front line, right?
No-go zone. Anywhere that Lusty's circling is a no-go zone, all right? You got cops like Flapteezy saying, sir, this is area's cordoned off. If you come in here, it's not going to be good for you. Now there's the Dark Knight falls from the back. Sin once more, the first casualty, and Lord still stands. That's going to be the Poissons here, popped by Flapteezy from the back. Finn gets destroyed by the Ogi shadow kill, and Rebo ain't done. The Doctor takes out Psycho as well, and R7 right in the middle of 4 members of BREN Esports. Make that 5, that's all of them, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to go for the push. It's just WizKing left to defend. Is it enough? The answer is no. Another shadow kill by the good Doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, BREN Esports with the classic recall in front of your base as they take game number 3.
Now, if you think that the TP is annoying, the shouts that came out that really just tried to scare BREN Esports, that those were the things that were happening. It's a mind battle here on the battlefield, and BREN Esports, the recalls was just an answer to that pressure. Like, shout as much as you want, but you will never ever get into our game.
Honestly, I have to admit, this has been an absolutely phenomenal game to watch here from both of these teams, and even with the shouts here, and especially after yesterday's game, I think, you know, it's a little bit of a primer. Like, Alter Ego was a primer for BREN, so that these shouts doesn't even phase them. But we have to kind of talk about the big issue here. We've seen Baxia really put a full stop to a lot of compositions, almost similar to the Diggy here. Hellkurt could not do anything about him when he is on top of him. Hayabusa even making it even easier when the team can't regenerate.
Exactly. This is making it essentially a 4 versus 5 every single time. And on top of that, you know, they're making RQ, the King of Kings, look like just a mere peasant in that sort of sense. And after all, they are mortal.
Strong words. Strong words, sir. Now,
the imagery.
The imagery. But yeah, I agree. I cannot agree more, because Sin is put in a very good spot in the draft. I mean, Hellkurt is not the best pick, but because of all the utility that BREN Esports has, he has all the capabilities to counter that. But if you go in without thinking about the control that they have as well, you will have a hard time.
Well, with that being said, we just got word that the analysts are ready. So let's throw it over to them. Wolf and LaFell, please explain.
Thank you very much, casters. Speaking of casters, I think a lot of things will be clipped.
Yeah.
Contra says something very interesting, and our table has also talked about a bird with a gun. It's very interesting.
It's very graphic to me, man.
Anyways, my name is LaFell, and this is Wolf. We will be your analyst for this game. And the thing is, Wolf, I have to say, from the side of RQ as well as BREN, both of these teams actually took a very risky composition in their draft, where BREN, technically, they have 4 assassins, and RRQ, they take the Hellkurt, even though Hellkurt is, you know, in the logical sense, he has burst, he has the silence. However, as we see, every time he goes in, he dies. So both of those compositions have very, very strict win conditions.
You know what's a very cool thing about our jobs? Ever since the group stages, when we are going for our analysis, every single game, I'm not telling you, the teams go in front of us. And when we were trying to explain what happened, what went wrong, what went right, they just gave us the death stare.
Yeah, like what were we saying, like, why they lose, and then the players are just like,
yeah, right. So
yeah,
and it's worse when the coaches come in. It's like,
yeah,
the team played this badly, then the coaches comes in and then.
Anyways, they just walk by. So right now, let's talk about the draft. Let's start with Hellkurt. Hellkurt, why is he so risky?
I think that it is more. I'd say there are risks that are like high risk, high reward kind of decisions. This Hellkurt is low reward, high risk only.
Yeah,
I would
because,
say.
yeah, I would agree because we saw the show, we saw the Savannah, both of these heroes, they can catch someone out of position, and then the Hellcat could theoretically come in and burst them down. And we look at the lineup from BREN, 4 assassins, all of them are pretty squishy except for the Baxia. I like the Baxia in the experience lane just because Mundon has been trying to get the tanks in the experience lane, giving more options for more compositions. And the thing is, for BREN, we talked about Hellkit. Right now, let's talk about BREN's lineup. 4 assassins, if they lost the laning phase, I think that it will be a very bad game for them.
That's what's very interesting because I think this is volatile for both teams. I think that it is so the draft is just so funky that both teams cannot lose their early stages of the game. The Hellcurt as well as the Lancelot, they have the same win conditions. It's just that the Lancelot can achieve that much better and much easier compared to the Hellcurt. After all the nerfs onto Hellcurt, it is just not gonna work. Many times in this particular match, BREN Esports were able to just bait out Sin, and when he jumps in, everybody just goes towards that part, and even hiding in the bushes. That happens so many times. And RRQ HOSHI, I knew from the get-go that when they lose their early stages, they cannot recover anymore.
Right now, the stat that I would like everyone to look at is actually the damage. RRQ did more damage than BREN Esports, but let me make you understand why that is. The only person from BREN Esports that can take damage is the Baxia. We can see FlapTZ always going to the front, making sure that he takes all the brunt of the damage coming from the 1-1, from the Yuzong, from the Sylvana even. And once everyone has basically used their skills, that is when the assassin goes in. When FlapTZ gives the information, there's no this, there's no that, all the line is clear. Clear. Come on, even Gideon did it. But anyways, the line is clear, you can come in and then you can do whatever you want. And as we can see, Selena goes in, Lancelot goes in, Matilda goes in, Hayabusa goes in. It is a very risky draft, but this is one of those situations, high risk, high reward. You win your lane, you win the mid game, you will snowball so hard they will have no idea what to do.
You know what? This is not only a risk that BREN Esports took just because of their lineup, but you also have to take note of the entire draft, including the bans. The BREN Esports, they banned out Ling and Roger in the second phase, and in the first phase, it was the Yi Sin Shin. Then they took the Lancelot. Now, if you're looking just at the pool of heroes that can be played, they really took everything out, and I love the fact that they picked up Hayabusa.
Yep, and right now this is the MVP, Carl TZ with the Lancelot. Come on, when this guy has the Lancelot, I don't think anyone would deny that he deserves the MVP position. 908 itemization, full-on damage, and again, I like the point that you pointed out. Ban those certain carries, making it very, very difficult for RRQ to really answer until they were forced on the Hellcurt pick.
There will come a time where in this best of 5, and maybe come game number 4, RRQ HOSHI will just straight up pick up a carry in the early stage, the first phase. Because, you know what, Lancelot is one of the heroes that BREN Esports really have mastered. And for the side of RRQ HOSHI, they were all of the choices that were taken out from them. I really love the fact that they picked up the Hayabusa in that 4th slot, because they kind of forced 1-1 to be picked by the side of RRQ HOSHI, and that really put them in a bad spot wherein, oh my goodness, we need to draft a Retribution carrier.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like James, after seeing that game, he has a lot to think about. The 1-1, even though Whisking is very good on the 1-1, but we look at the itemization, you only had the Corrosion Scythe as well as the Demon Hunter Sword. On the way is the Golden Staff, but there was not enough time. All of those assassins, they play very, very fast. A lot of dashes, a lot of bursts, and the moment he wants to go in, he wants to get those weakness stacks, but when he dies first, those weakness stats mean nothing, and then he still cannot use the Crossbow of Tang.
You know, there's a lore for BREN Esports back in MPL Season 4 and Season 5. I think that I also shared it during the panel. The download game, is it actually happening right now? Because that is, I mean, it is what happened during the first 2 series that they won here in the lower bracket, and it is kind of happening now. Are they gonna take game number 4? That's a question. I had also a chance to talk to the 6th and 7th members of BREN Esports, and they kind of told me that the entirety of BREN Esports squad just didn't really had their coffee.
Got
probably
it.
why they lost game number 1.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
They kind of slept around 3 a.m., which is not that healthy, and they're quite sleepy.
They're doing the Toda.
They're doing the Toda thing where is that about just giving out excuses and reasons?
No. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't have enough sleep. But anyways, this, like, if what you're saying is true, then I think not just the Philippine fans, not just the Indonesian fans, but Burmese Ghoul as well, they are watching this game. And if what you're saying is true, that BREN, with more games, they get better, it's gonna be very, very scary in a best of 7. But either way, that was our 3rd game. We're going straight to the 4th game with our casters. So casters, please take it away.